Welcome back, Troglodytes, to your daily dose of guitar information, the Trogly's Guitar Show. So I got a tip that there was a pretty cool Les Paul on Guitar Center used, so I figured, why don't we check these guys out? It's been about a year. Sometimes you can find good stuff in their used section. So here's the guitar I was supposed to check out. It's a 1998 R6 Les Paul. Okay, that's pretty cool. 5500, a little bit high, but let's check it out. We've got our dual P90 pickups, appears to have not had a pickguard at all. It's kind of a weird blackish green finish. We can't quite tell right here. But then we zoom in on this photo and, oh, it's that guitar again. Yeah, you know, it was just for sale over here at Cream City Music. I think they had it around that same price, but it ended up getting marked down to about $4.5. But it's that cool chameleon flip-flop finish. You know, kind of similar to the PRS Nebula, except for this was done way before that. But what's really cool is it's not just the top that's flip-flopped, it's also the back and even the neck. It definitely dates to 1988, and it's a true custom shop guitar. I mean, I would be interested in documenting this one. But apparently Guitar Center recently got this at a guitar show, so that really hurts me knowing that they probably paid like $3,500 from it. But that's strange for Cream City to sell to them. Maybe somebody bought it from Cream City and then somebody else sold it to Guitar Center. I guess if we're being fair here, that's not a bad price for what this is. It's a sweet finish, and paying a $1,500 premium for something like that is something a whole bunch of collectors would do. And I've got a merchandise credit to Guitar Center, so it's like I'm kind of shopping for something this episode. So let's see what else we can find. There's one of those Gibson SG GTs. $5,000 is not that bad of a price. They can get worse. It just depends what color it is. And yeah, Guitar Center's website is not the best here. So we're gonna have to zoom in and it's gonna get blurry. It looks like maybe the Daytona Blue, I'm not sure. I definitely need to tear one of these things apart on the show because I don't fully understand them myself, and I don't want anybody to tell me about them because those car hood things are weird. But we have done the Les Paul GT. But ooh, looking at the market, looks like those are falling in value. 35 on some, 45 on that. Wow, that's a big price drop. All right, so in light of those prices, yeah, $5,000 probably not worth it. But this one really caught my attention because this is the leading photo. You've got this super aged black beauty. It's got an added mini switch. They're calling it a 1975. That might not be the worst price in the world. So apparently this Guitar Center's fancy and it's got the nice couch. Zooming in tells us it looks like it's been refretted with giant frets. The pickups are likely not original because those are chrome covers, and the added mini toggle also makes you think, yeah, they probably modified the pickups. I've got a big volute. This might have been a Kalamazoo made one, but you generally don't find a lot of Grover tuners in that era, so it looks like you might have had replaced tuners. But okay, I can see the bone nut, so yeah, that was definitely a Kalamazoo built one. We need a lot more description on this one, and all they tell you is it comes in a case. That's why buying on Guitar Center online, you really have to know your stuff because they're not saying any of that's replaced. They're just saying it's a vintage guitar. If you're just buying stuff and you didn't know that originality is really important on a guitar like this, at least as it pertains to its value, I mean, you wouldn't know any better. Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that. But then I saw this. 2018 Clapton Cut Explorer. It's a weird doofy model, but I feel like it would go perfectly with like the reverse Flying V, the reverse Explorer, or any other weird wacky shaped Gibson in like my future museum when I get those things. So basically the story is Clapton had an original Explorer that was cut like this. He always thought it was factory original until he found out it wasn't, then he was upset about it. So then in 2018, Gibson Custom Shop did one just like his, and they sold terribly. Sat around in stores for quite some time, but I don't know. They've got kind of a quirky, nice nature to them. Looks like currently we only have one on the market. New one's $4,500. It's been listed for 3 months. So in that aspect, $4,000 is a pretty good price. Now, it looks like these were factory aged, so I wouldn't let this whole good categorization scare you away. All right, I'll add that one to my think about pile. This one I was interested in because I didn't know what it was from this one photo. So Gibson Les Paul Standard Limited Edition catches my attention, and yeah, they don't tell us too much. They have a weird 99-cent price tag here. Let's see if we can figure this out. Ah, great. The other fantastic thing about shopping on Guitar Center. Only one photo. Well, at least we can zoom in. It can't be a dark night because it looks like it's a gloss finish. It looks like it might just be like a black quilt top, maybe a flame top. I can't tell. It could be a good deal. I mean, this headstock makes me think it's somewhere within that 2016 to 2019 range, like early 2019 before the shift. But yeah, no information for us here. Okay. Yeah, here's one of the Blood Moons. These things have actually been selling for premiums on Reverb. They were $3,000 brand new, but they've been selling anywhere between $3,000 to $4,000, so not a bad deal at all for one of these, unless it's like really beat up. But you can check out this review and demo if you need to learn more, or you can check out the Black Knight variation as well. I've already done one of those, so I'm not really interested again. But then this caught my attention, Government Series, $2,500? Okay, as long as it's Series 1 and it's mint condition and it's got the case, maybe, just maybe. So Series 1 has the dark finish, which yes, that appears to be what it is. They're kind of harder to find. But it's really hard to tell anything about the condition of this from these photos. And it just says A case. That's a big deal. I mean, we're talking the cool government green case. And does it have the COA signed by Henry? These are future collector's items, but they were billed that way from the start. I don't want to pay that much. Maybe I would pay $2,000 for the right one in good shape though. But what do we got here? 1982 Les Paul Studio Custom solid body. Okay, I can guarantee you guys right now that is not a 1982 because the Studio didn't exist until 1983, let alone a Studio Custom model. I'm honestly surprised they advertised it correctly as far as that. It is a Studio Custom. I love these things. Probably replaced pickups, potentially a stock Kahler, which doesn't matter if it's stock or not, makes it less valuable than a stop bar variety one. There we go, 1984, 201st day of the year, 507th production number. So how did they get 1982? Oh, they used the 2014, 2019, and or 1994 style one using these two digits. Okay, innocent enough mistake. We just need to figure out if those are still Tim Shaw's or not. That is not the worst price in the world. See, there we go. Not every store is worthless. This one tells you it's the original case and original gold pickup covers are coming with it. So this is one, if it was a stop bar tailpiece, I'd probably be calling them up asking for additional photos because that could be a good price. But I'll leave that for somebody that likes Kahlers. Next up, Flying V limited edition solid body electric guitar. I clicked on this one because I was unsure about what it was. Maybe it was one of those older New Century ones? No, this is actually one of Guitar Center's exclusive models, the Flying V Mirror, which, okay, appears to be out of stock. I think they're, what, 2,200 brand new? Or at least they would be nowadays. That was probably back when they were still 2,000. Those have been selling for a premium on Reverb, but it looks like somebody swapped out our bridge pickup, so we'd have to figure out what's going on there. But yeah, 18, not a bad price. But hey, how about this? Gibson Blues Hawk, 1,300. It's blue. That's what I've been waiting to document. A blue Blues Hawk, just waiting for the right price. If this thing has a case, it could be a good contender. Because it looks like, I mean, it's got a little bit of wear, but nothing too crazy so far. But how's our description? This product comes with a case. It's just a little bit more than I want to pay. I want to be at 1,000, but I'll put it in my maybe pile. But hey, here we go. Here's a New Century guitar. Now let me tell you, I know firsthand these guitars are crap. They don't feel right because the entire body is recessed just a little bit, and then they put this mirror pick guard over top of it. So you can check out this video when I did one of these. I mean, when you remove it, it's just a big, weird looking thing. But I just remember this was not a very comfy guitar. But the Vs and Explorers of the series, they're kind of cool. I mean, these are meant to be played out on stage. You're gonna blind your audience with them. It's a lot of fun, or so I've heard. I've seen people price these up to like $1,600, so I mean, if you want one, it's not the worst price. But Guitar Center had a couple of these L6-S. Whoa. That's what it's supposed to say, L6-S, not LS6, but okay. Happens to the best of us. Everything looks original from the front. You've got a little bit of wear, maybe some bird's eye going on. That is an ultra heavy aged lacquer here. Looks like we definitely have some wear to the fretboard. Headstock's in okay shape. A little bit of buckle rash. Looks like some stand marks potentially. And oh, somebody's social security number with his name. Yeah, I'm gonna be blurring that out. I think Guitar Center probably should be too. But yeah, that was a popular thing to do back in the day. You would actually engrave it into the guitar so nobody could steal it. That was the thoughts before people started stealing identities. No mention of a case. Generally, I suggest staying between like $900 to $1,200 on those for one in decent shape, but the market has been going up. But this 1979 VSG with a non-factory Kahler. Wow, that thing has been played in on that neck. And somebody's moved our strap button over here at one point in time. And it says Cochise? Something like that. Looks like we might have some sort of a sticker shadow back here too. But there we go. Fantastic description. I've actually got a very special VSG coming in very soon. I paid way too much for it, but that's a story for another day. $1,200 for a routed Kahler one, yeah, probably not worth it. Especially because our pickups have also been swapped. Yeah, that's not a deal at all. But hey, how about this 92 Studio Lite? I do need to document one of these chromite bodied guitars. Basically, they're weight relieved and then they get filled with balsa wood in their chambers, and it kind of makes for an interesting guitar. But it's from the golden era of Les Paul Studio, so you get the ebony fretboards, and these came stock with these pickups that were uncovered. The hard part is finding one of these in good shape, and then the really hard part is finding one of the M3 variants that has the cool pickups and the different pickup selector. Looks like somebody has replaced our tuners on this one. That's an alright price. But this thing confused me. Les Paul Special Kahler solid body. What is going on here? $1,100. It was likely routed after the fact for the Kahler, but what's really strange is this is a mid-90s model. I mean, you're a couple of years outside of people really routing their guitars out. They had started to learn their lesson. But whoa, it's a Gibson branded one. Just because it says Gibson on it doesn't mean it was stock though. I mean, that could have just been sold aftermarket. I've never heard of a 90s Gibson have a Kahler. But it looks like this particular one's from 2001, so yeah, there's no 2001 Gibson with a Kahler. There was the Tribal V in 2009 that came stock with a Kahler, but that's like a real anomaly and a completely different style. This one was called the SG Naked. Apparently a limited run done in 2016, but this is what they look like stock. This particular one was either a darker shade than normal or it's been refinished. Instead of having two P90s, somebody has converted one of those to either a mini humbucker or a Firebird pickup. They put one of the V5 Vibramates on it. They installed a pick guard, which is blasphemous, and they just made the whole thing look different. Now these things can sell for like $1,600 nowadays. So this price, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. This thing right here, absolute deal. $1,000 for a 1990 Les Paul Studio. Awesome chrome hardware, appears to be really clean. We've got Dunlop strap locks on it, but that's why it's a good deal. It's got some finish chipping right here, but I'll be honest with you guys, that does not look structural to me, and the rest of this guitar looks pretty clean. But another whammy, no case. That's all right, I got that spare 90s case. I could buy this, but I don't have a need for it right now. But if you are looking for the best Gibson that $1,000 can buy, that's this. In fact, if you're looking for the best Gibson that $1,800 will buy, I would still suggest this. But then the Gibson Challenger is a model that I don't suggest to anybody. I tried one of these at a Guitar Center once, and I hated it. So that's why I haven't reviewed a Challenger yet. One day I will. Maybe it was just a bad example, probably was, but it's one of those weird bolt-on neck Gibsons with the weird headstock that is not right, but ooh, that one has some expensive tuners on it. Flying V's use those. Here's one of those Explorer melody makers, just in case you didn't know it existed, with its goofy looking headstock and shrunken down body. And then there's a couple of big boys. So Guitar Center Hollywood's the one with the fancy couch. It's 1953. The condition looks pretty good for that, but it's a under wrap tail model. I don't think it's worth $30, and I'm just gonna leave it at that, because it's too hard to judge anything based on 3 photos. But if something sits around long enough, they will cut the price, as suggested by this Firebird here. It was $32,000, now it's down to $21,000. But I'm actually surprised to see a Firebird 5 anywhere. These things are a lot more rare than the 1s and 3s. Vintage 5s and 7s, they sell fast if they are priced correctly. I like the look of the inlays on this one. They almost look like mirrors. We've got a little chip on our pick guard. Apparently that's pretty common. That is a nice looking example, but I'll be honest, don't know the market for these things at all. I'll stick with my 90s models. They're a little bit more affordable. And lastly, looks like we got a 64 335. It's got one of them custom-made plaques, which usually is just covering up the stop bar tailpiece holes to put your Bigsby on it. Sometimes factory, but not always. So that leaves us the Blues Hawk, the Clapton Cut, and the R6. I think I'm just gonna hold on to my money for tonight. Nothing quite caught my attention, but there were some cool guitars, so maybe one of them caught yours. All right, Troglodytes, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you tomorrow on the next one. Take care.